and welcome to Lemon Drops, brought to you by the Smoky Lemon crew. We'll be talking branding, marketing and everything in between. So grab a coffee, sit back and let's drop in. Kia ora, welcome back to Lemon Drops. Of course, the podcast series where we talk community stories, business stories, and we've got a very special story to share today. It's an important episode, especially for anyone connected to the building or construction industry. So we're talking about wellbeing, culture, looking after people who build our homes, workplaces, and communities. So I'm joined by Campbell Mattson, founder and trustee of Building Wellness and owner of Location Homes in North Taranaki ITM, along with Christina Lorth, who is the general manager of Building Wellness Taranaki. So morena.
Morena.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
This has been a long time coming. So the reason we've got Campbell and Christina is Campbell brings the big picture, the vision, the why, the behind building wellness, and Christina's at the coalface, working day to day with the people in the programs, make a real change across our industry. So let's get into it, eh? Yeah. So a little warm up. Let's do a quick fire. So Campbell, you can start. What does wellness mean to you personally in the context of the building and construction world?
I would probably use the word balance as being a pretty key component for wellness. As an industry, construction, like others, is known to be volatile. So you can either have too much or too little work on, and trying to navigate that volatility and remaining balanced yourself, whether you're an employee or an owner or a project manager, it's pretty challenging. But if you can achieve something close to balance in your lifestyle and your family environment, you can survive the work environment, which can be pretty challenging.
Yeah, for sure. Christina, what does wellness mean to you?
Oh, it's all encompassing, really.
Yeah.
How can I beat that one? So wellness is quite a strengths base for me. So what do we add into our lives or our work lives to be able to, I guess, to be well and to thrive, and often there's a balance of a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, very holistic. It's not about avoiding stress or distress; those are all parts of life. But how do we also approach the lovely things around, being well and thriving?
How do we manage that? Yeah,
exactly.
So I guess that's kind of where Building Wellness was born. So Campbell, let's talk about the vision and the journey. What inspired you to start Building Wellness and commit to this kaupapa?
In 2021, as we navigated COVID and the changes that brought to both our society and to the industry, we in Taranaki were introduced to some statistics around suicide in construction in New Zealand, and at that time it had just become known that construction had surpassed farming for the first time in forestry in terms of suicide rates. So it was kind of a moment in time where we're like, hang on, what's going on here? Yeah. And like a lot of things that happen in Taranaki, there's this coalition of the willing who sit around and say, there's a problem, and what are we going to do about it? So very much at that time it was around helping to address the suicide as an outcome in the industry, but it's fair to say it's evolved. The vision has evolved far beyond that now to be to use an analogy, the fence at the top of the cliff rather than an ambulance at the bottom. So Christina can talk more around those tools, but that was the catalyst, and there was two other business owners from civil and residential construction. The three of us really came together with David Langford from MPDC at the time, and decided to actually
do something,
and Building Wellness was born.
So being the owner of Location Homes, North Taranaki ITM, have lessons from your builds influenced how you think about wellbeing in the workplace and things?
Absolutely. I think fundamentally my experience as a business owner is what's shaped the way I think about wellness. In my mid to late 20s I had a breakdown in the middle of building a company at the time. It coincided with the GFC.
Right.
I didn't know I was having a breakdown until almost after the fact.
Okay.
And I saw the consequence of doing too much with too little resource, not on your own in the sense I had wonderful family around me, but from a resource point of view, from dealing with economic shock, I just all got too much, and the brain and the body said, see you later, we're going to stop for a moment. So I always had that in the background, and I've watched many good businesses start and fail, and I've seen really good talented people be ruined or put in a position that really detrimentally affected for a long time because of how hard business can be.
So hence Building Wellness.
That's a motivator.
Yeah. So Christina, as the General Manager of Building Wellness, what's a typical day look like?
So my days are pretty varied, which I absolutely love, but my role primarily sits, I guess, at the intersection between strategy and the delivery of the work. So a key part of my role is relationship management, collecting with industry businesses and partners, building new relationships with key stakeholders, right through to, I guess, nurturing those long-term collaborations that we already have. A key part of my role is listening to what business owners and employees within the construction sector are facing on the daily, and then making sure that we evolve what we deliver so that it's responsive and it resonates. And we kind of are serving that growing community need. Another part is ensuring that our team that deliver the incredible, meaningful mahi that we do on the ground have the resources, the professional, personal development to do what they do, as well as continuing to grow the trust, not only in terms of logistical scale, so ensuring that we have the right team on the ground to support our community, but ensuring that we're continuing to evolve to the community need.
To create that, to do the mahi to help the community.
Exactly.
So, because you have some cool programs or activities that Building Wellness runs, like you have days like tradies tools down, and things like that, buddy networks, mentor mates. So
you've got it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the tradies tools down as an example. Campbell, you're welcome to join in too. This is really neat. This is where you encourage like owners of building places to let their staff go along to that, let their hair down, and just be with other people. Yeah.
That was an interesting initiative. Some of my team came to me a few years ago and said, we want to do something to contribute to Building Wellness as kaupapa. And so it was an entirely voluntary initiative that has become part of Building Wellness, but from people who don't sit in the organisation. And it's been an awesome story and an awesome thing to watch that volunteers come up with the initiative. They've worked with Christina. Christina's been integral to obviously help shape and organise the event, but it really is a supporting event to Building Wellness. It sits alongside but outside the entity. And I think the greatest thing, and in the first event we ran, I couldn't believe it. I think there was around 700 or 800 people attended, and what you said is true. Employers said, guys, you can have the afternoon off paid. We had people who were stop-go people to CEOs of oil companies, every role, every position spectrum, if you like, was in attendance, and it was people. The event was wonderful in this terms of speakers, but actually it's the bit that happens after. It's the guys gathering around having a burger and a chat
and feeling the support.
100%. It's been an amazing thing to watch.
So if someone contacts Building Wellness, Christina, and like they might be a boss of a company or an individual, both can contact, right?
Absolutely.
And so they say, look, I'm struggling right now, like how what's your first steps in helping them? Is that where the mentor mates comes in and things, or
we just work alongside the person to understand what their needs are, and then just agree what the next steps could be around. If you consider us as a holistic wraparound support, but we're a conduit and a connector to the right services. So we've built really, really strong relationships within the Taranaki community, from the healthcare right through to the community sector sector as well as sort of business advisory services, so we can really support individuals around their needs as well as businesses, and then whānau of the construction sector also are part of that. But so self-referrals, employers or colleagues can refer their members as well, their staff. Family also have, loved ones in the construction sector who, if they notice they might be a bit distressed, they can refer in. And we can also reach out often, if you're feeling a bit stuck or like the world is weighing on you. It's kind of sometimes quite difficult to make that first step and reach out, 100%. So we can do the heavy lifting and reach in.
Yeah. Could you keep it anonymous, but could you share like a real world example of a time that support made a difference for someone, or an individual or a crew or team?
Yeah, we have many on the daily really, but we often will have employers who have been trained up in some of our leadership training and have the know-how and the skills to be able to, I guess, notice if someone is not travelling too well, and then how to reach and start that conversation, and then obviously connect with them. So an example being an employer has noticed that a staff member in construction has been really struggling. Perhaps had received some support that didn't quite connect for them, and have seen us as that kind of trusted partner to then say, actually, they've tried before, it didn't quite work, but can you help? And this person, had been in the industry for six decades, if not more. So, quite a traditional mindset where in the past, there would have been barriers around, seeing help seeking as a weakness. But actually engaged with us, thought, hey, talking actually helps, a conversation, a connection, this actually is working. Connect them to the right services, their GP, health improvement practitioners, and someone that is quite, I guess would have been lacking confidence, ended up getting up in front of their own company and in front of 80 staff saying, hey, if I can get up and I can speak about this stuff and I can actually ask for help, then you can all do it too. And
brilliant. And it's that ripple effect, isn't it? If they see the bravery of one person and the outcome,
absolutely,
and then it makes them think it's okay to ask for help. What do you see as the biggest barriers people face when it comes to talking about mental health at work?
I think Christina's touched on it actually. I think the biggest barrier is the one inside your head.
Yes.
If you look at some of the classic, maybe stereotypical traits of our industry, and I say our industry broadly, whether it be civil construction, engineering, or what you determine, vertical construction, it's male dominated. Traditionally, you have to earn your stripes. Part of that's about work ethic, being tough. Having weaknesses or having frailties, whether it be mental or physical, some kind of impairment is seen as a weakness and as a failing, typically. So if that's sort of the underlying belief and feeling of people in the industry, they're pretty hesitant to put their head up and say, hey, look, I'm struggling, or I need help, or even to know if they even were willing to put their hand up, where to go. So underneath all of the work that Christina and the team do and Building Wellness does is actually a purpose, which is to change the culture of the construction industry.
Change that narrative.
It's correct, to one that cares for the well-being of the worker. And the correct person to be leading that is the leader. If the leader can get up and speak with confidence about their own struggles, it gives permission to everybody else.
Absolutely, which is exactly the example you used, is that, and that opens it up for everyone else to feel okay about it, because it is about breaking. How do you break that stigma? Is it just one conversation at a time?
Exactly. It is one conversation. Yeah. It is walking the talk. It is behaviour. People follow actions, not words. And I think if you are seen to consistently let's be honest, we'll get it wrong from time to time, and we're constantly, as leaders, we're constantly trying to balance the needs of a business with the needs of an individual, and so perfection isn't really a consistent thing. But I think overall, if you can be seen to care and put people first, and be willing to be vulnerable, then the change can happen. Yeah.
So, where do you think leaders in the sector can make the biggest difference when it comes to wellbeing? Starting those conversations, breaking the stigma.
Starting to talk about it openly, and genuinely, and of course modelling it. As in, if it might be, for example, drinking and drug taking is often a symptom of whether it be stress, overwork, whatever. And if you're a leader who struggled with that, and you're seen to, say, take matters into your own hands and get the help to get that part of your life under control, again, role models for others. And that's true across the board. It might be people who tend to overwork. So, again, going back to balance, demonstrating balance in your life is a really good way to help others find their way through to a healthier life.
Leadership definitely sets the tone, and I'd add to that as well. So yes, showing vulnerability, normalising conversations around life really, but also, so life's ups and downs, but also ensuring that there are good practices within the workplace that have been implemented. So this stuff is really easy. So, you've got your policies, even, start toolboxes with check-ins.
So that's different. Instead of your toolbox session where it's like, right, we've got this, and this on, it's about starting it with just an open narrative for the staff. Yeah.
Simply be a check-in. Yeah. An easy way also is, we offer training around, how do you notice if someone's not travelling too well, and recognise how to have the conversation, and then how do you connect people to support. We can even come in and do toolboxes. We can train up leaders to build up their confidence and empower them to even facilitate their own toolboxes on site. So,
and do you feel like there's been an uptake in changing that narrative from the industry, like here at Taranaki? Do you feel like everyone's on the main people are on board?
I don't know if that transition will ever be complete, so to speak. I think it's accurate to say that there's been a groundswell of awareness first around acknowledging well-being as a priority, and now that's turning into how do we deal with wellness? How do we foster it? So we're coming up, I think, 4 years right now, actually. And I think it'd be fair to say that the general attitude, the general vibe, if you like, through the construction and wider construction industry is one that there's just much more willingness to address this, talk about it, and put plans in place.
Because ultimately you're going to get best out of your staff that way too, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's right. The return on investment for looking after your people is unquestioned. It's phenomenal, and one of the biggest issues we would all face, whether we're an employee or an employer, is disengagement. And if someone isn't well, it's pretty hard for them to turn up every day 100% engaged.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So, Christina, if someone's listening wanted to support Building Wellness, what practical first steps would you recommend?
Reach out, just connect with us. As simple as jumping on our website, learning a little bit more about us, buildingwellness.co.nz, or just reaching out. Our contact details are on our Facebook and our website. It starts with a conversation, asked to listen to what that business or the individual or the whānau are facing, we can just
take it from there.
Take some steps.
Reaching out's the first step.
Exactly.
So, all right. In closing, each of you, it's a question for each of you to answer. We'll let you go first this time, Christina. What message do you want people to walk away with today?
If you are feeling like things are a bit heavy at the moment, please do reach out. There is a myriad of supports available. A lot of them are free, a lot of them are very accessible. It's just about finding that right connection. And then on the other side, it's we all we all have a role to play in building wellness, and we can all be the change that we all desperately want to see. So
yeah, brilliant. Campbell?
Yeah, I would just say this, speaking to the industry that's going through constant change. So we live in a volatile world, socially, politically, so change is going to be a constant, and acknowledging that we operate in a difficult environment is a good start. Then understanding that a problem shared is a problem halved, and often we work in silos, we operate in our lane, and what Building Wellness does extremely well is facilitate conversations that often wouldn't happen. So participate in our events, you know, put your people forward to be trained up as buddies and your leaders in our leadership, wellbeing leadership. And as I say, come to our events and actually participate in the industry outside of the day-to-day working and grinding, and you'll find networks and build networks that you didn't know existed.
And then they become your people.
They do.
Yeah. I think, you know, what really stands out is that it's not just about ticking a box, it's about changing culture. It's about taking care of our people, taking care of our staff, taking care of our industry, so we can all live happy lives at the end of the day. So we really appreciate you guys coming in and talking. It's a really important conversation to have. We'll put all the links you need below to get in touch with Building Wellness, whether you want the help or you'd like to help. Either way, I'm sure you guys would love to hear from them. So thank you so much for your time today, guys.
thanks for having us.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah.